Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Field of Glory Empires. The slow, grinding invasion against Macedonians is continuing. Apparently, as walled as this location looks like it is in fact not walled. Just like that location is not walled. Okay, then we're gonna have to spend some time to wall it up before we leave again. Because I'm not gonna bounce back and forth between these two. Siege is continuing. We've reached one wall. Laconia, which is the home of Sparta. Sparta obviously has ceased to exist in this game. Has fallen to our forces. And someone went ahead and put a wall in Sparta. So we're going to build that wall even bigger. So as we could propose peace once again with Macedon. They would obviously accept a white peace at this point. They don't think they're winning. But, well, we think we are. Unless we want lots of stuff from them. Okay, so that's all the stuff we occupy. And they're willing to give us all the stuff we occupy at this point. That's how bad their position is. Or even to a certain degree allowing us to give us stuff that we don't occupy. We'll take the Aetolia. We'll take that. Got all the... Yeah, okay. No, I probably want more than that. What's the provincial count in Lower Greece? 8. Yeah, so I really want that one. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say we want the connector, so we want Achaia as well. Yeah, so they're probably not... In fact, that's impossible to even offer. Okay. We'll go forward then. Yeah, we're not going to send an unacceptable request. Already offering peace. We're going to reject the peace. You're within arm's reach, and that has consequences. New general is ready for service. Does that mean we lost a general somewhere? That either means we lost a general or we gained a general limit. I think we actually gained a general limit, so that's maybe less surprising. Got them under siege. 1 of 3 walls breached. We don't have a navy blockading the port, so they are getting enough food in to feed the garrison. You're digging in, you're holding that sea zone. Your job is to run around and build roads and limes in the Conquer territory, please. You'll go there, you'll build a lime. We're probably not in a position... Okay, this is maybe not meta. Because we're probably better with the quarry here rather than the stone pit. We'll put the clay pit here anyway. That means when he arrives, he will be able to upgrade the public works to regional roads. Okay, and then we just got to do the province managing. Your building. Great Mint's going to be nice to have done. We could use some loyalty here, so 40 loyalty from this place. This also provides some culture and money. Costs us some decadence, but 45 culture to 1 decadence, because it's an average of 10 turns, it's like 45 to 10. Like, that's a good ratio. like a 4.5 ratio from that one building, so it's not bad. Palatial Guard extension. So we already hit the Palatial Guard. Upgrading it again gives us, well, a taxation penalty, so it makes it harder to get taxes from here. But it gives us 1 legacy and gives a bigger garrison, I believe. Yeah, it gives another palatial garrison to the palace. And a bunch of manpower. There'd be even more if we had access to silver locally. Because this is an upgrade, it's worth doing. Well, it's an upgrade, that would be a pretty bad building. We already built the lower building, and, well, an upgrade to an existing building is usually better than not upgrading it. Road upgrade, or bronze work import tin. We could import the tin, that's not really a problem. We've got enough commerce buildings that we can get better commerce buildings. That's probably a good way to think about that right now. Ooh. 51 culture. Really hard to turn down 51 culture. Yeah, we'll take the 51 culture. This is the place where we're getting 2 legacy points per turn, so still making a lot of legacy points as well. Don't really need the loyalty here. We could grab the Gladiator School if we needed to. We're just not super valuable. You know, I'll go ahead and grab the Gladiator School here anyway. That'll give us access to tier 6 or tier 3 culture buildings. Which have some pretty nice buildings in there. And then we're basically fishing for upgrades in the future here. Ooh. Tempting to turn it down. Tempting to accept, tempting to turn it down. So we collect it, it's 1 legacy and 14 culture. Granted, the 14 culture is kind of ruined by the fact that it's a 2 decadence building. And that's why I'm tempted to turn it down. Yes, we could build it here. But we don't have the honey, we don't have the luxury, we don't have the wild beasts. And the main reason, if this wasn't a wonder and it wasn't providing legacy, the main reason to build this would be the 60 loyalty bonus. We don't need the 60 loyalty bonus in Pados here. Yeah, it hurts because it's a legacy, but we're going to turn it down. I just really don't need that loyalty bonus here. And I'd rather get lucky and pull it someplace else. I think the medium cav are not skirmish cavalry, so that's probably not affecting them, but a little bit of military buildings is not a bad idea. Don't need the loyalty of the pleasure management right now. Improve the military quality. New place, new building slots. One building slot here. Tempting to give the commerce building. That would give us access to tier 2 commerce buildings. Yeah. Yeah. Two and a 1. Grab the wall upgrade. And we'll grab the wall upgrade. This place is pretty far off in the distance. We're mainly holding on to it because it does allow us to recruit specialist elephants. Open slot and open slot. Again, we want the conversion, so we're going to hold off on the temple here. This is a decent clear water, so we'll grab the clear water. Now, here we couldn't build that temple if we wanted to. The other one, I believe it like requires coast. Yeah, it'd be showing up in the list right now if you could build it inland. It isn't showing up, so it's a coastal thing only. We will go with the temple here. 5% more conversion will be useful for converting the Hispanic citizens. Hispanic citizens aren't the worst from a unrest standpoint. I think that honor goes to the Germanic citizens, if you're not Germanic. But they are the second worst. They're one tier down from worst. I think it's technically 2 cultures. I forgot what the second one is offhand. That's in the Germanic tier. Five open slots. Yeah, definitely a cult site. Okay, we're now on to the independents. Such as you. Loyalty from the gladiators is not too bad in this situation. Clear water. Decent amphitheater. Okay, that's all the provinces. Got an Art of the Siege. Art of the Siege definitely wants to be deployed on Macedonia's capital. Just drop that there. And then I think we go ahead and cycle a turn. Made pretty decent time on that turn. See how the Macedonians respond to us being in their territory. With violence. That's what we would expect. Our defender is equal to their attacker in combat ability, and this is hills where our guys outperform their guys. Slowly are trading their forces down. Once again, this is hills. Attacker equals defender. Our guys are better in the hills. We got more ranged firepower. Now I'm expecting a victory. Again, mainly slowly trading their forces down. And we killed the enemy general there. Oh, we actually went up the progressing tier 1 step today, or 1 step this part. That's good. And you are seeing with the legacy points, if we could get Macedonia to drop off the legacy board, we are in a winning state. A little bit of work has to be done to get them off the winning state, or off the board though. Money to get food, it's not a bad idea. Turn the surplus manpower into money. Siege is continuing, walls have not been breached. Siege is continuing, 1 wall left to breach. Honestly, that looks like a pretty ragged garrison. Yeah, I think that garrison's actually the point where we're going to order the assault. It might be a little bit of a gamble if they're ordering the assault right now. 3 unbreached walls. Get a limes up so we can move back over to the place with no walls. it continues. Okay, over here we got 2 stacks. We don't need to keep the pampered guy, or the coward, around for the siege. I'm going to go ahead and push him down to Hispania. The Celtic independence here in Hispania Ulterior. We have 5 of a province that is 10 large. If we can get 1 more, which is what that guy will go do, we will be able to make that a province and have the decadence per turn from nation size for the entire province. So that will be good. As well as it'll be a province, so we're not having to micro each of the individual subcomponents. Oh, that one lost its general. So we gotta get another general quickly. So that's basically a 1-0 general, because it's got a... Oh, I think that's a defense penalty, not a defense roll penalty. So it gets an extra dice on the defense, but it actually has like -1 to the dice roll. Well, we're sticking around mostly doing defenses here, so we'll do the 0-1. We got a prospect for resources. I think we're still going to try to go for silver here in Umbria. Yeah, we got gold. We've hit iron, we've hit gold. So there's copper and silver for potential hits. We're probably not going to hit anything. The most likelihood to hit here is actually stone. We already have that. So the prospect's most likely going to do nothing. Got the Great Mint, should finish next turn. We don't... Like, this would be a good source of culture, but we really want some loyalty from this population slot. And it is not a good source of loyalty. I'm surprised. This is a... Wait, if this is an upgrade, why is this taking up a slot? Yeah, if this is an upgrade, why is this taking up a slot? I'll go ahead and build it, because I think it's not going to take up a slot. We're just getting a little bit of a reading error there. Worst case scenario, I just won't get a choice again. We'll have to suffer the loyalty for a bit. Line expansion's a no-brainer. Commercial port. Ooh, 2 good choices. So we do need loyalty. 16 loyalty is enough to warrant the slot. Because even with a city as large as Rome here is, Latium in Rome, we're only up to 8 unrest. I think the next one is actually 9. The next one's 9, yeah. So, okay, we stick this guy in. To get the next slot, we have to pay 9 loyalty to get the slot, but 16, that means this is still like 7 positive, so it's definitely worth building. And that'll help keep us high. Though that's commercial port. Commercial port's real nice because +1 trade range, but no, we need to keep the loyalty high. And we're not too desperate for money in trade range, I suppose. We didn't have marble. The marble vein would be great. We didn't have perfume, and there are things that need perfume. Perfume would be nice. But yeah, we're going to the amphitheater here. It's a 0 slot. Provides some culture. upgrade 18 more culture. Yeah. One slot there. Needs frankincense, which we can import from Cyprus. Okay, so that we are getting frankincense and can import frankincense from places. And yeah, that's just telling you the raw trade power, or the raw trade range of paved road trade center is that we're able to import from Cyprus frankincense all the way over to Provincia over here. So we have the frankincense to build that building and not have to pay through the nose for it. Which makes that a decent basilica. So we'll build the basilica. We haven't been building basilicas because they're often not worth building if you can't get the frankincense. But apparently, we can get the frankincense. Plantation, bunch of food. A little bit of loyalty issue there. I think we can stomach that. Large farm and an open. Have a school. Courthouse. Open right now down to the loose ones. Wait, no, you were. We just missed you apparently. Okay. Maybe got a little carried away. Clicking around and didn't go. Oh. Arsenal. It doesn't look like this is an upgrade. We don't have the Great Arsenal. We might want the Great Arsenal at some point. I suppose this is really good if we're recruiting infantries and heavy infantries. For the metal cost, which we have way more metal than we need. Reducing equipment because we don't have the lead, the tin, the copper. Really, we'd just be trying to fish for the Great Arsenal, which we only really need to fish for once. We're probably going to skip on that for the moment. Perfumery. This is actually a place where the perfumery is getting a buff. No, we'll go to the large farm, get the farm upgraded. It's a decent farm, and we can upgrade it to larger farms as well. Okay, and forward we go. Oops. That is 8th province, 9th province, 10th, 11th. And that's part of the reason to build the 3 is that we can get things like land expansion. Do we go for Brickworks, Wheelmaker? Probably. Again, so we can get the land expansion. I'm not sure if we're actually able to do land expansion in the desert. That's actually a good question. You can do it in most places. That's not a particularly good trading tent. It's not a particularly good source of loyalty. We'll grab the clean water and just do a reroll here. It's a side effect. Functional reroll. Courthouse. 3 and 2 open slots. If we had papyrus, and there's a decent possibility we'll get some papyrus imported at some point. At the moment, we'll just expand the port. Oh, because we have a wonder here that's providing an extra functional extra palace. Yeah, that's what the Royal Tomb is counting as. Surprised we're being offered the Palace Guard here. I'm tempted to take it because we're being offered it. Just because it is a legacy modifier. Normally you can only build in your capital, and your capital is obviously over here, and we have extension 1. It's probably offering because it's a national wonder. It's not blocked if you have the upgrades, apparently. Tier 1 isn't blocked if you have the upgrades. So it's an available choice. Didn't think that was an available place to put it. I expected it to be on a palace, but I am not the all-knowing source of equipment and skills in the game. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. Irrigation system is not yet a plus there. We'll do the wall upgrade instead then. Okay, we've been around to all the regions. Moved all the army. Well, due to all the armies that are not actively sitting on things doing specific tasks in a stationary form, yes. Let's cycle the turn. I think I'm going a little bit faster on the turns right at the moment. So we'll probably get a third turn done. Partially because I think we're focusing more on culture and less on trying to micro growth. Looks like Macedonia fell. Ranged phase. More attrition onto the Macedonians. Macedonians trying to relieve the province that we're digging into. And yeah, it definitely looks like we've taken Macedon. Macedon, the city, has fallen. And that was one of our objectives, so we just seized an objective. +1 progress token to Rome. There we go. Fallen. City has fallen. At this point, we've got limes installed. That's about what we're reliably going to be able to get into. In theory, they could try to storm it, which... March and storm, which they could do. It's not much we can just stop them if they're doing that, though. And then did the Verni place fall? Yes. Okay, so that war is over. See if we can take over Hispania Ulterior here. And we'll have another province. Another thing we might do is the Venti up here have one of our objectives. It doesn't have one of those annoying... In fact, we still apparently have one of the Druid hideouts because they've been just hanging around for so long. It doesn't have one of the annoying Druid hideouts to stop us from taking it. So I think we can overrun that one province. So you'll march up... Well, in fact, apparently it seems like you're going to sail up there. But we'll go up there. I think you only have that one little lump, so we will declare on it to try to end you. Take that objective off of your hands. I received a Heart of the Siege. We'll accelerate the siege of the one place we're actively sieging. And then we will open up negotiations with Macedon again. They're not likely to give us the stuff we want. Because I'm at the point where, like, yeah, I want your capital. They're not going to give me their capital. Okay, and then we want this place, want that place. One, two, three, 4, and 5, so that allows us to make the province there. Got those 5 side, so we get the whole province there, not just part of the province. We get Macedonia, which is one of our objectives. And yeah, we're at minus 65 war score. They're not going to accept that. That's like what we want, and that's not what they're going to give us. All they're going to give us is war. War goes on. Yeah, so 3 armies moving, 4th army sieging. Can't pave that road, can't pave that road, can't pave that one. Well, that one can be regionalized. That one's not a region yet. So we can make that one a region. Okay, I think we're down to building stuff. We did finish the Great Mint. You know, no luck finding anything in Umbria. So either we found something they already had, which is nothing of significance, or didn't find anything at all. Scriptorum. 17 culture. Could be better with wax. Or dry dock. I think the answer here is the Scriptorum. Yeah. Pretty interesting toss-up here between Amphitheater and the... In fact, I will do the Amphitheater. Tempted to also go Training Ground, because it's a 0 slot. But yeah, we'll do the Amphitheater. The culture will be good in the short to medium turn. Sure. With that, we'll be ready to go up and pave that road. I need a lot less making infrastructure at this point. We need, like, well, more than 0 there. Barely more than 0 there. That one's actually the big expensive one. We need like 300, so we can almost free up like 200 infrastructure worth of people to work money. Yeah, that's a decent place. Next breakpoint is apparently 50,000 to get to 4. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go dash up to 50,000 anytime soon, so we'll leave these guys on money. Though we are going up decently quickly here. It's 355. And we almost bring that up to 600. Though, what? So, 600, 10 turns is 6,000. Need just short of 30 turns? No, because it's 26, so just short of 35, 45 turns. Yeah, for the 50 turns out, we'll stay on the money. We do need some money for other stuff. Okay, and with that, should finish. We can check to see if these guys want to be culture. So you're at 2. That might be worth trying to dash a little quicker up to next tier. So we can kick it up to 400. So that would do it in like 7 turns. Similarly here. Costs a little bit of money, but it gets us culture breakpoints sooner. In 5k... In fact, this one's going to hit it within... Well, if we can put like one more person on culture and hit it next turn. Could technically put a slave on it and guarantee that we get it next turn. We do want the loyalty, so we'll do the Noble District Care. And yeah, putting that slave on there for the 1 turn is enough to get us to get an extra legacy point per turn next turn. Circus for loyalty. We're not desperate for loyalty, but we will take it. Sometimes it's better to be ahead than behind. Monument. More culture, more decadence. So, yin and yang of the whole culture to decadence ratio thing. At least able to do arid steppes. I'm not sure if we're able to do the full-on desert for the land reclamation. And the answer is no. Desert, apparently, we can't reclaim land from. It's so worthless, it's not worth reclaiming, apparently. Castrum Cataphracte. This would allow us to get 10% extra XP to heavy cavalry, and specifically recruit cataphracts from here. I suspect we aren't going to want to do that. Well, not down here, because we're not going to have the industry to really do it down here. And weirdly, we might actually be better using the elephants, which we can recruit down here. Because the elephants have 7 attack. Right, so if we're gonna play our cards right, we'd rather attack with surprise with the elephants. Though those guys are still they're a little bit better in defending than the elephants are. We may want to go stud here. I have to know the spawn events on the Colonia. Apparently it's not purely decision event based, because otherwise we wouldn't have had one spawn down here. But it must be something like you get one of the conversion events happens and you get like a Colonia for a period of time. But yeah, we'll go stud here. That'll give us the third. Now we'll do the reroll. We probably want the orchard out of those choices. More loyalty. So that's going to be gambling. We need the conversion here, so we're going to delay on this. You know what? We'll grab the furnace here. Give us access to level 2 commerce buildings. 3 open slots there. Yeah, we'll do a reroll. Which means we're really overcommitted on infrastructure here. So yeah, let's culture up. Three different places wanting to build. We do want loyalty, so taking a 0 slot is fine. We want more conversion, so we don't want to give up the conversion chance at the cult site. Yeah, we'll go sort of gambling district, or go crafting district, which is sort of gambling because it's going to make the commerce building pool swell a lot. And we'll go in the Noble district. Okay, so after like 4 turns, and the Just Conquer goes away from the 4 turns, this will be usable at that point. A lot of the malices are going to go away. Are being applied to us. Just Conquered 4 turns, yeah. I somehow clicked through the game there. Didn't break the game. Oh, looking at the time... Oh no, we're still going on the turn. Let's finish this turn up. It'll be a little bit of a long part. But I'll just accept that. You have to play probably the next part a little bit shorter. Then we're on to the loose. Which are going to be places like this out in Greece. Doesn't surprise me too much. Yes, fortify the place even more. Okay. Don't think we got any regionals. Not really. And the troop movement we handled early in the turn, so it is time to advance and see how our troops move. And then after the end turn here, we are going to put the part break in for the third part break. I think it is time for me to go get more tea. So if you're watching on Twitch, there will be a short break for me to go get tea. Oh, I think that's the battle we're going to win. They barely even filling the front line. Well, actually, no. This is just the provincial garrison, right? So these guys need walls to be decent. They don't have walls. They're, well, that's the consequence of not having walls for your troops. They need walls. I don't know if they're... I don't think they're selling. I think that's the field army. Yeah, we are very efficiently... Well, maybe efficient's overstatement. We are reliably attriting their forces at this point. Celtic Independence, I think we'll win there. Which allows us to make another province come next turn. Merge a whole bunch of the loose ones into one merged group. Looks like we're probably going to dip into another golden age. My father was a noble man, but we lack his decency, apparently. Okay, so we get prospect of resources, we can move that. In the meantime, build a port. And as far as the province goes, we are able to build it. The 17 here is the big one, so we will put that as the capital. The army will begin to... Actually, no, we do want to fortify here, so it's going to take 2 turns. We're going to Public Works from camp, and then Limes, and then move away. We declared war on these guys. I'm just going to put a part break in it. We did a little bit of the Western campaign here. These 2 armies, we told them what they're going to do. But, yeah. And to be fair, if that siege goes well, that'll give us another objective. Objective-wise, we've got 1 in Macedonia. We know where that is. We've got the Veneti over there. We don't care if the Saxon is 1. We don't care if the Dacia 1. Those ones will probably go away if we just leave them alone long enough. Okay. So with that, I am going to go ahead and put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. We're going to record 1 more part tonight, as I'm still planning on doing a 4-game, 4-day cycle on the streams here. So each game gets a 4-part stream every night. Okay, and with that, wish you all the best of luck and good time. Till the next part, wish you all, well, just said that. Okay, bye for now, before I ramble off into the sunset a little too long.